What is going on, everybody? I know I'm late. It has been, let me tell you, it's been a day today. Uh, Kiddo had softball tournament that ran. Last game went 2 extra innings. Um, so getting home super late. Got an early morning tomorrow, but hey, we're here to talk some NFL start, sit, all that fun stuff. Who we playing? Who's hurt? Who's not playing? Anthony Richardson is playing. You playing him? I'm not. I'm out. I'm out. I don't like Anthony Richardson. But let's get into it, guys. Um, let's see here. What do we got going on? Sam Darnold still available in 36% of the leagues. Got a tough matchup against Detroit. Uh, Jared Goff still available in 14% of leagues. Huh? Aaron Rodgers is only rostered in 49% of Yahoo leagues right now. Michael, what is going on, sir? How are we doing? Sorry I'm late. Kiddo had we got a softball tournament going on this weekend, the kiddo, and they went last game ran late. Late. Went 2 extra innings. Unfortunately, we were on the losing side. So now we got to fight our way through the loser bracket, double elimination game tournament. But yeah. How we looking, Michael? What do we got going on? Um, I know someone was asking the question of Joe Burrow or Sam Darnold. No worries, brother. Family first. Yeah. It was my voice is kind of because it's a fun day. We had 4 games today out there at the ball fields today. So, but someone's asking Sam Darnold or Joe Burrow. And I don't know why we're necessarily asking that question because Joe Burrow's playing Cleveland and Cleveland's not good. So I'm definitely going with Joe Burrow with that. I know that's what my buddy Rapid Dave went with in the chat, replying to that comment. But I know I wanted to make sure I hit that question up. If we get that again, we'll talk about it again. But Sam Darnold's facing a tough Detroit team. Um, ah, get a drink of water here. Facing a tough Detroit team, tough Detroit defense. Even without Aiden Hutchinson, I think that defense is going to be pretty tough. The secondary's been pretty good for Detroit, that revamped secondary, and I look for them to kind of keep that going for sure. How your lineups looking, Michael? They all looking good? We looking all gravy? Hoping for another 500-yard game, dude. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I know I got Burrow in one of my leagues, and he's playing. Um, I've got. I also drafted Pat Mahomes in this league, and last few weeks I've been playing Joe Burrow. He's just been playing better. That's all there is to it. Um, Fantasy wise, yes sir, looking good so far. That's good. That's good. I hadn't really had a chance to take a look at a lot of my lineups. I did some looking on Thursday, just kind of like a preliminary. I know I got to go back through there. What is up, old school? How we doing, brother? Hope we're doing good. Hope we are doing good. Picking up Olave off waivers, just waiting for Wednesday. You need Derek Carr back, is what we need. I saw some reports that came across that said um, Alvin Kamara's requested a trade. He wants out of there. Can't say that I blame him. With Spencer Rattler, that team is bad. They Denver picked them apart for sure. Um, what are we looking like for Derek Carr? Very likely to be available for week 9 for the Panthers. We're looking at a possible week 9. So it doesn't look like he's going to be playing next week. So another week off. So advice here: if you do get Olave, excuse me, off the waivers, just let him sit there on your bench. I'm not playing him. Definitely, I have Adams, Chase, and London, and Mooney. Yeah. So you just let Olave sit. I mean, we're playing Devontae Adams now. All of a sudden, his um, quad or hamstring injury or whatever it was is up there. Kamara's up there in the years in the league category. He is, but he's having a great season so far. And if you put Kamara on a good team, I mean, he's having a good season this year on the Saints, right? But if he ends up in a good situation, another good situation, it's just going to keep thriving. I think Kamara's kind of on I like what we're seeing out of him this season. So I want to stick with him this season until he shows me otherwise. But as of right now, I would stick with him. right? He's done good. Now next year we'll talk next year, right? What team is he on? How's he looking? He's going to be another year older next year, but for this year, for fantasy this year, Kamara's been good this year. I got no complaints with Kamara. Let's just take a look here. Alvin Kamara. Yeah, I mean he's now with Spencer Rattler. I mean, here's the thing: you got the Chargers next week. They're pretty good against the run, and if you got Spencer Rattler, I don't really like that. But if we get Carr back in Week 9 and they're playing Carolina, I love Alvin Kamara. Then I think this is his 8th year. It's something along those lines for sure. Um, what Alvin Kamara? You know what? Let's just take a look. What do we got here? Alvin Kamara. 29. He's 29 years old. So he's still got another year before he hits that. In July, he'll hit that dreaded 30 years, right? 30 years old. And that's when your running backs tend to kind of dip. Is what we're looking at with that. So I'm not seeing, let's see here, stats. He came in the league in 2017. So we're year 7. So 17, 18, 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be his 8th season. Is the Chargers defense pretty good? The Chargers defense is pretty good. They're one of the, especially against the run. They're 29th. Running backs are 29th in points put up. So there's only a few teams better than them defensively as far as the run, giving up fantasy points to running backs. So the Chargers defense has been pretty good. It hasn't necessarily been the Chargers defense that's got them in trouble. It's been the offense. And Justin Herbert being hurt and injured and, figuring out things with the receivers that he has, whole new receiving core, them kind of figuring things out with Harbaugh and the Harbaugh way. And they've run into a couple good teams that have gotten the best of them. But as far as the run defending the run, the Chargers are good. Their defense is pretty good. They don't give up a lot of fancy points to running backs. So, like I said, there's only about 3 teams that are better against the run as far as giving up points to fantasy points to running backs. And that's what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about fantasy points. What are we giving up? So, how are your lineups looking, old school? We good to go? Are we set? Let me know. Yeah. Hopefully everything's good. I know I got to. That's a good take on the Chargers. Are any of the 1-5 teams going to turn it around? I don't even know who the 1-5 teams are, old school. Let's take a look. ESPN, NFL. Like I'm barely gonna get to watch any football tomorrow because I got to be out the fields at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, something like that. We got our first game I think our first game's at 12:30 tomorrow, so I got to be out there about 11:15, and then if everything goes right, we'll be playing in the championship at 5 o'clock. So possibility of playing 4 softball games tomorrow, or coaching, not playing, but coaching for me. Let's see here. 1-5. You got Cleveland Browns. They're not turning around. The Patriots. They're not turning it around. Titans at 1-4. Nope. Jags at 1-5. Nope. Panthers 1-5. Nope. Rams at 1-4. They get some. I think the Rams are kind of done. How do you feel about the RBs? Ty Chandler, Rashid White, Tyler Algier, Jalen Warren, Goodson, Antonio Gibson. Open for wins for all your brothers. Yes, we are. How do I feel about those guys? I mean, he's found a way, right? He's even with Bijan there, they get the ball to him, and he does all right. Rashid White, He's going to be coming back from the injury. Is he back this week for sure? Let's take a look. Where are we at with Rachaad White? He's listed as questionable right now. Dealing with a foot injury. Bucky didn't do too. Bucky was all right, in his absence. I'm okay. I'm tepid on Rachaad White. I was really excited about him going into the season. He just really hasn't produced. Jaylen Warren, I mean, I like Jaylen Warren more than I do Najee Harris, but Najee Harris has found a way to keep him on the bench. Really, we're not getting a ton of production out of Jaylen Warren. Now, if Najee Harris ends up having to miss some time, then we feel good. But I mean, he's just not right. He has been out for a couple games, which would explain why, we're before that. But I mean, last week he only had 6 rushes for 7 yards, 3 catches for 11 yards. It's kind of seems like they're really going with Najee there. Gibson. I mean, if Stevenson's playing, Gibson's kind of null and void, Let's see here. Tammy and 10-man PPR, pick a flex. Dobbins, B. Rob, Zay, Brian Thomas Jr., or Chase Brown. QB, Josh Allen or Jayden Daniels. Okay. Okay, let's get into this. Let's see here. Is everything good for B. Rob this week? Is my first question. Now, typically, guys, I've done a little bit more research coming into this, but like I said, I've been out the ball fields all day today, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull things up. We're going to take a look. B. Rob is questionable. Knee, he's expected to play in practice all last week. Okay. I like Brian Robinson. I love the matchup, but he's questionable. He's expected to play, but you know what? James Cook was expected to play the week before, right? So I definitely want to keep my eyes on that situation. With that being said, but they said that about James Cook, guys, and we kind of got burned on that one last week, right? Again, and last week I talked about. Here's the big thing I talked about last week, guys. If you have an option for running back who's not going into the game hurt, I like that better than the guy who's going into the game recovering from an injury that's questionable that hasn't practiced all week, right? So that's where I kind of want to sit at right now with Brian Robbins. I do. I love Brian Robinson. I think he's been great this year. But we're gonna pump the brakes a little bit. We've got Arizona is J.K. Dobbins is playing Arizona. When he plays teams that are bad against the run, he produces points. Arizona is not a good team against the run. They're just not. Hold on a second, guys. I got family hitting me up. Arizona's not good against the run. They give up they're the 10th worst team in giving up fantasy points. So that's a very I like that matchup. Zay Flowers, he had a good week last week. Are they going to keep that up? We kind of talked a lot about with Zay Flowers that they just don't really want to pass the ball there in Baltimore. But then they went ahead and they proved me wrong last week, right? And he had 9 catches for 132 yards. He had a good matchup against Washington, which gives up a lot of points to wide receivers. Tampa Bay gives up a lot of points to wide receivers. So that's, again, and you're looking at a PPR, right? Guys, I will be getting everyone's questions. Just be patient with me. I'm working my way down the list. Brian Thomas Jr. is a guy that I've been high on here lately. He's been playing really good. For a bad Jacksonville team. He's got New England this week. New England is a middle of the road matchup. Now, Brian Thomas didn't really have a good week last week, but he was playing Chicago. And Chicago's a tough defense. So right now, looking at the matchups, I think I want to go ahead and let me look at Chase Brown real quick. Hold on. Because Chase Brown is a guy that I have really been liking. I've been digging what he's been putting down. Is a guy I've been kind of waiting to take over that backfield there. in Cincinnati. Last week, 10 for 53 and a touchdown, 2 catches for 11 yards. Cleveland, they don't give up a ton of points to running backs. They're not a good team, but they don't give up a ton of points to running backs. So I honestly, I want to go ahead and say J.K. Dobbins is my flex there, Tamian. Let's go with J.K. Dobbins. Now, Josh Allen and Jane Daniels. Josh Allen's got himself a new weapon in Amari Cooper, right? I love that move for them. Um, you go and you pick up you go and you pick yourself up a top tier wide receiver. Now, Tennessee's defense doesn't give up a lot of points to quarterbacks. Let's just be honest. Jane Daniels, I absolutely love Jane Daniels, guys, and he's playing Carolina. I'm going Jane Daniels, um, which is crazy to say. Beginning of the year, I never would have went with that, but yeah, I'm going to go with Jane Daniels, and I'm going to go ahead and go with J.K. Dobbins. So it's going to be a beautiful day. The winner will enjoy the day with the family. Win or lose, the winner will still be. Yep, there we go. What's up, T? How we doing today? Say he's going to play. B. Rob didn't practice. They say he's good to go. There are a lot of players off the injury report that could be rested if they are winning a game. Yep. I say the difference with Cook last week is that is the difference, right? So, but you keep an eye on how things are going. Jordan Mason is supposed to be good to go, based off of everything that I saw. Let me just double check and make sure there's been no updates on him. Yeah, he's not on the injury report at all. Now, Kansas City they're the best team in the league as far as giving up points to running backs. So running backs definitely do have a tough time. So Dobbins should have a I praise Jones at chill game. My opponent has him right. I have Brian Thomas Jr. on all 3 of my teams. Yeah, he's a guy that I've liked. Dropped an easy TD. If he catches that, we're not even thinking about sitting him, right? But I like I said, of all those choices, I like J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins should have himself another game. I think he should have a really good game. Like she said, have a 20-pointer. We're looking at 100 yards and a TD probably is kind of what I think we're looking at out of him. Harbaugh wants to run the ball. The Chargers want to run the ball. That's Harbaugh football. Run the ball, pound the ball. And J.K. Dobbins has been that guy, especially when he has a favorable matchup. Again, we're looking at the matchups, and when you got a guy who's playing against Arizona, they give up a lot of points to running backs. So you're actually looking at 2 good matchups in a row for J.K. Dobbins. Next week they're playing New Orleans, and they give up the 8th most points to running backs. So that's where I'm sitting at with that, guys. What else we got? We got any other questions? Start, sit. We looking at trades? We working on some trades? Well, how do we feel about Davante Adams? What does that do for Garrett Wilson? I don't think that's good news for Garrett Wilson, because here's the thing. You've got Aaron Rodgers has got his toy back in Davante Adams, his little buddy, and he's going to feed him the ball like crazy. So I think that kind of dips Garrett Wilson's value a little bit for sure. For sure. Last time Herbert faced Arizona in November of 2022, he threw for 3 TDs. It was a Monday night game that time too. Yeah. Here's the difference between 2022 and now. In 2022, that was a team that passed the ball a lot. They don't really they look to run more now with Harbaugh. That's the big difference, right? As far as like Herbert's concerned. That's why I'm predicting for J.K. Dobbins to have himself a big game. Let's see here. T. Darnold or Cousins? My opponent has Jefferson, and I have the kicker too. Who is Atlanta playing? Let me take a look, guys. Kirk Cousins. They're playing Seattle. Seattle has been okay. They're kind of a middle of the road team as far as giving up points to wide receivers to quarterbacks. I don't really like the matchup for Darnold, honestly. Let me just kind of double check this real quick. I think Detroit's been pretty good. I know we're missing 8. The Lions are missing Aiden Hutchinson, but I still think they'll be pretty good. Detroit's okay against the pass. I think I want to lean Cousins in that matchup. I do like if you play Darnold, though, you take away the points from Jefferson. But if they don't really have that great of a game, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. I think I want to go. I think I want to go Cousins. I think I like Cousins. I think you got a higher ceiling with Kirk Cousins than you do with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's kind of started to. I'm not going to necessarily say plateau, but kind of come a little bit back down to reality. Now he did have a tough matchup against the Jets, but um, coming off the bye, yeah, I still kind of like. I still like Kirk Cousins. I have Jane Daniels at QB. Should I do Josh Allen and St. Brown trade for Neighbors and Olave? What what end are you on that, Eric? I just want to double check and make sure. I just want to double check and verify what end you're on. I'm assuming you're on the Josh Allen and St. Brown's. You're trading them away, and so you'd be getting Neighbors and Olave. I don't like Olave until Derek Carr comes back, because until Derek Carr comes back, it's no. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing any receivers for the Saints with Spencer Rattler back there. Um, so it comes down to, will Derek Carr be back? Will he be fully healthy once he comes back? If he is, I like Olave. I do like St. Brown. I like Josh Allen. Neighbors has been good. That's kind of a tough one. The rookie's been doing good, but is he going to keep it up? I what's the rest of your roster look like, Eric? Like, do we need to get 2 wide receivers? How many wide receivers are you playing? Who do you have right now? Are we doing a trade just to make a trade? How are we looking the rest of the way? Let me know. We'll get back to that, Eric, as soon as you give me a little bit more information. Pick 3 PPR: Cook, Connor, B. Rob, uh, Chase Brown. Okay. Uh, BTJ, Marvin Harrison. Is everything good? Is James Cook good to go? I know he almost played last week. I haven't really seen what his status is for this week, if he's even on the injury report. He's not on the injury report. A little bit of a tougher matchup with Tennessee as far as defensively is concerned, giving up fantasy points. I do like James Cook. He's not on the injury report. If B Rob plays, I like him. And then I think I want to look at Marvin Harrison for number 3. So if everything's good to go with Brian Robinson, I love the matchup. I love playing Brian Robinson. It's just a matter of if he's good to go. Keep an eye on that. You got Chase Brown and you got James Conner there. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that Arizona run game. I mean, we haven't gotten a ton out of James Conner this year. Not much last week. It's a tough matchup. Again, we're looking at a tough matchup against the Chargers, against the run. I think I want to go Cook. I think I want to go Marvin Harrison. And as long as everything's good to go with Brian Robinson, I want to go with him. If not, I want to go Brian Thomas Jr. is who I want to go as my number 3. But Cook and Harrison for sure, and then either Brian Robinson or Brian Thomas Jr., Brian or Brian, and just got to see what's going on. Trade JT and Bijan for Saquon and Pollard. I mean, Taylor's out again. Saquon and Pollard are both healthy. Bijan's been okay. I think I would. I think I would trade Jonathan Taylor and Bijan for Saquon and Pollard. I think that's with Jonathan Taylor. We don't know when he's coming back. Like, was it a chance for him to come back? I mean, and then also I wouldn't be angry about standing pat there either. Like, slated to miss his third game and will target he's looking at a return date for possibly next week. Ankle, I mean, it just depends on if you believe he's going to come back. And it's kind of tough. I like what Saquon's been doing, although I think he had a tough week last week. Tony Pollard, I, I think Tony Pollard's had a pretty good year so far. Um, I like what we've been seeing out of Pollard. I, it could be a sneaky good trade, but it could backfire. Like I'd almost want to kind of stand pat, and not make a move, just to it's almost making a trade just to make a trade, Arturo. Do you need that other running back? Let me know. Thanks for your help. 10-man leagues are tough. If you draft well, too many out. That's the thing. Like, sometimes you get and you have all these options. Like, I mean, all the options you gave me are pretty good there, T. Right? But it's what are we going to go with? What are we going to sit with? Um, yeah, we just got to figure out what we're doing, right? And just kind of looking at the matchups. That's kind of where I'm leaning at with that, for sure, for sure. That's where I'm looking at with that. So, what else we got, guys? We got any other questions? Um, Eric, I'm still waiting for you to get back with me. Give me a little bit more information about your roster so I can give you a definite answer on that. Um, Jeff, got to do some 2-for-1 trades when you draft well in a 10 team. Sometimes you do, yeah. But then also you also got to take a look and don't jeopardize your roster depth for another player, right? Because it's a long season, a lot of injuries, and you don't want to give up some depth that you have. If you have some really good depth, and then all of a sudden you get rid of some of that depth, and now guys get injured, now you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, right? But also, and look at your bye weeks too. Do you have early bye weeks? Because once you get past your bye weeks, sometimes you can make some more moves. Oh, T, we're talking defense here. Rams defense or Giants in a must-win divisional matchup. Giants lead the league in sacks. Um, I gotta see who they're playing. So let me just look at this here real quick. Rams are well. The Rams are playing Vegas. I like that, but the Rams have been bad. The Rams have been bad. Giants at Philly. Philly's offense is good. I think I want to go with the Rams defense and special teams. I think that's the way I want to lean, just based on the matchup. Um, yeah, the Giants lead the league in sacks, but they got AJ Brown back, Devontae Smith. Um, a must-win division. Yeah, I mean it is, but I like the matchup with the Rams. I like that matchup that the Rams have more playing Vegas, because Vegas is just a hot mess right now. They just traded away Devontae Adams. They got guys hurt. Um, they just haven't looked good. Give me the Rams is who I'm going to go with there, T. That's where I want to go there. Let's take a look here real quick. What other defensive options do we have though? Like, is there maybe possibly a better defense that's out there with a better matchup? Let's see here. I mean, Indy wouldn't be bad. Indy's available in a lot of your leagues, and they're playing Miami. I don't mind that matchup. I don't hate that matchup. I don't hate that matchup at all. Um, but yeah, sticking with them. There you go. Jags are my streamer. You're going with the Jag. Oh, Indy's gone. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams there. New England, Jacksonville Commanders are only ones left. I don't like Jacksonville. I don't mind the Commanders, but who are they? Who are they? Lose Washington against Carolina. That could be sneaky good. Um, you're looking at a Commanders team that they're okay, but I think you got a good matchup against Carolina. Now Carolina has been playing better since Andy Dalton's joined the fray, right? But I don't know. Yeah. Jeff, rookie QB, prone to interceptions, worst O line in the league. Is that the? Oh, you're looking at Jacksonville? I don't know, man. I just don't like Jacksonville. I don't know. You think JT is going to continue being hurt so I can swoop up? Um, the signs are pointing towards possibly next week. I think I'm gonna stick with the Rams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stick with the Rams. T. Let's do that. Um, some of the things I'm seeing is they're targeting next week for JT to return. Um, so kind of stand pat with him because once he comes back, he's going to be the bell cow again. Um, I don't like Anthony Richardson at quarterback, so they're definitely going to throw the ball a lot for sure. Or not throw the ball, run the ball a lot. That's what they want to do. They want to run the ball. So that's where I'm at with that. But I mean, Trey Sermon. I mean, if you got someone that you can drop, and you want to stream him for a week. But I mean, if you're looking at him for more of a long term type thing, I don't think he's more of a long term type thing. I think JT like is the guy there for sure. It just depends on who you'd be dropping to pick up Sermon, Michael. You know, I'm not going to start a guy who's already a starter. Nobody likes Jacksonville. The matchup does look good, like, but I don't know. I just can't do it. I I do like Kareem Hunt. Um, I because they've already shown that they're going to go with him. He's their lead back. Um, he had 27 carries for 102 yards. Um, one catch for 15 yards. The week before that, the first week he played, 14 carries for 69 yards. Andy Reid's going to be giving Kareem Hunt the ball. I do like Kareem Hunt. He's a guy that I drafted in some of my deeper leagues. Um, with the hey, at some point in time, somebody's going to pick him up, and lo and behold, it was the Chiefs. So that worked out in my favor because I'm like, yes, we're playing Kareem Hunt now that he's on the Chiefs. High-powered offense that wants to run the ball. Andy Reid wants to give him the ball. Andy Reid is a coach that goes with a bell cow. So yeah, UNLV, what is going on, brother? How we doing? T, new subscriber here. Thanks for your help, brother. Hey, no problem, man. T, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Normally, I'm here earlier on Saturdays, but I was stuck at the ball fields with my kiddo. She had a tournament this weekend. Still does. Day one's in the books. We went 3-1 today. Um, Winner go home for the rest of the day tomorrow. Hopefully, we play 4 games and we got a long day. So, but we'll see. But yeah, normally I like to go live about 10, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time on Saturdays to get in a little bit earlier. But hey, I didn't get home till after 11 o'clock today, Central Time. So got on when I could for sure. I like the late night. I'm hospitality industry, so it works for my schedule. And it's hey, let's take a look at everything before the day, right? Um, a lot of people are live Sunday mornings. There's not a lot of us live on Saturday nights. I like coming in here on a Saturday night. Get the kids in bed. I come, I have a seat. Let's take a look at everything. I like to, go through this, set my rosters, get my lineup set, help you guys with yours. We do a lot of soundboard stuff here. We talk things out here, right? Um, We have a good time. We have a good time. So welcome. Now we also do a live on Wednesdays about 7 p.m. Central Time. That's with me and my partner Rapid Dave. We do a combined show Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we kind of talk about the week that was and we take a look at the week coming up. Right. Sometimes we could take a look at some decisions and make some decisions, but some of it's like, hey guys, here's where we're sitting at with this. Let's revisit it. Tank Bigsby or Jordan Addison. I'm going Jordan Addison. While it does look like Tank has taken over that backfield, you never know if that can change. And with Jordan Addison, you kind of know what we're getting out of him. I need a flex. Would you go McConkey or Lockett? Okay, we'll get you here in a second, UNLV. But let me finish my thoughts on this. Tank Bigsby. I again, I don't like Jacksonville, but Tank Bigsby has looked like he's kind of taking over that backfield for sure, right? He left the game with a hamstring injury after 3 games and did not return. Okay. Where are we at with ETN? Let's take a look. But let's also take a look at the matchup. New England is they give up a ton of points to run. Let me double check the ETN injury, guys. Hold on. He's questionable. Early morning game, we got to make a decision. I think I'm gonna if ETN's not playing, I'm going Bigsby for sure. Dealing with an injury, he's questionable going into it. I think I might still go with Bigsby. Kind of going back and looking at that first glance, I was thinking Jordan Addison, but looking at the injury situation, I think I want to kind of lean towards Bigsby. And New England gives up a ton of points to the running backs. Need a flex. Would you go McConkey or Lockett? I like McConkey and I like Lockett. Let's look up. McConkey's questionable right now. Hip. Was a limited participant in practice all week. It's a Monday night game. I don't want to mess with a Monday night game. I do not want to mess with a Monday night game. I hate it. It kind of bit us last week, right? With James Cook, right? So I think I want to go with the guy that I know for sure is healthy. And go with him in that situation. So I'm going to go with Lockett and not McConkey because McConkey doesn't play, then we're kind of screwed, right? So give me Lockett in that situation because he's healthy going into it. His Sunday night game. I don't want to mess with an injury on Monday night. I want to take the guy who's healthy playing Sunday versus the guy who's questionable, might not play on Monday night. That's where we're going, UNLV. That's what we got, brother. George, crazy question. I'm starting May. I'm debating on sitting one of Metcalf, Neighbors, or Godwin in order to play Pop Douglas. I just feel like Pop will have a good game if May does. Man, that's so I'm not sitting Neighbors. I'm not sitting. I don't know that that's a ballsy move there. Is what that is. I'm not super excited about May. I like the matchup against Jacksonville, but what did Douglas do last week? 6 catches for 92 yards, 6 catches for 59 yards the week before, 3 for 13, 7 for 69, nothing in week 2, and week 1, 2 for 12. Man, I don't know. You're starting May, so you're hoping to kind of get double points there. I'm not sitting Neighbors. I'm not sitting Godwin. So do you want to sit Douglas for Metcalf? I don't think Metcalf's been that great as of late, honestly. What's Metcalf done? No, I mean you're looking kind of TD dependent, right? Arizona could be a shootout. I don't think you sit Neighbors. I don't think you sit Godwin. Godwin is having a great season. Neighbors has been great. And we know Neighbors is going to play. I mean, that's just it's a roll of the dice, brother. Like I hate to be like no, but I'd have a little bit of a hard time doing it, just because I know the potential of Metcalf. We've seen Metcalf take games over, completely take them over. Douglas is still young. Drake May is still young. You know what you're getting with Geno Smith. You know what you're getting with Metcalf. That's I don't think I would. Me personally, I wouldn't. Hey, bro, should I start A-Chain over Pollard or Montgomery? No. No, I'm not starting A-Chain. Without Tua, A-Chain's we're benching A-Chain, especially Pollard and Montgomery. I'm not Montgomery scored a touchdown every game this season. I'm not benching Montgomery. Pollard's been good this year. I like Pollard. So MMA Hall or Hubbard? I think I want to go Hubbard again. It falls back to no Tua. Or that's not Hall. That's Hill. I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. Oh man, I'm reading that wrong. Brees Hall is a tough matchup against Pittsburgh. They really rushed him last week. It is a tough matchup. Let's look at Hubbard. Washington, middle of the road. But I mean, I think I want to go Hubbard. I like the matchup better. Para. So yeah, I'm gonna go Hubbard. He's been better since Andy Dalton's been in. Brees Hall's got a tough matchup against Pittsburgh. They don't give up points to running backs. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we got here? Trade. So you're going to trade away Brees Hall for Malik Neighbors and Tony Pollard. Who you dropping? But I do like that. Is it PPR? PPR makes it even better. But yeah, I would trade away Brees Hall for Malik Neighbors and Tony Pollard. Yeah. Not much rush for that. No problem. Aaron Jones now playing, him or Brian Thomas Jr. Here's the thing with Aaron Jones, and we're going to talk some past stuff here with Aaron Jones. Usually when he gets hurt, it's nagging. He might come back for a minute, then miss some time, come back, be right back out. I don't know. And Detroit just doesn't give up the run. Now I know, yes, okay, no Aiden Hutchinson, but I think that defensive line is still going to be good. I think I'm gonna play Brian Thomas Jr. I think that's where I want to go with that. Detroit's been good against the run. Their defense has played pretty good. Aaron Jones, I just don't trust him injury wise because again, he's shown in years past once he gets hurt, he stays hurt for a while. So that's where I'm going with that one, T. Okay, hey man, 2 questions. Start 2 non-PPR, Amari Cooper, Juju, Jamo, Brian Thomas, or Jackson Smith and Jigba. Holy crap, we have an embarrassment of riches here. I like Amari Cooper. How much is he going to be worked into the play this now? I think Juju is kind of where I want to start with, and I want to play Juju. JMO, he's going to get those big plays. It's non-PPR, so that doesn't necessarily matter as far as because he's not going to catch a lot of passes. JMO's not going to catch a bunch of passes, but he's going to get some big plays, and the big plays are really going to help out, right? Possibly a touchdown. Brian Thomas, I do like Brian Thomas. Jackson Smith, I like Jackson Smith and Jigba. How much is Amari Cooper good? Like if this was week 2 Amari Cooper in And when I say week 2 is second week in Buffalo playing for the Bills, I like him more. The first week, I don't know. I want to go Juju, and I think I want to lead towards. Let me look at something. Hold on before I make my. Before I make a decision, let me just look. Jackson Smith has been all right. You're kind of hoping for a TD. He's only got one on the year. It's non-PPR, so that doesn't matter. I think I want to go Brian Thomas and Juju Smith-Schuster is kind of what I want to do. Also flex for non-PPR, Mason or Bigsby. I think Bigsby's got the better matchup, so I think I want to go ahead and go Bigsby. Kansas City's been good against the run this year. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Now, if we get news that ETN is going to play, I think I kind of want to go Mason, but I don't know that ETN is going to play. He's questionable. I kind of want to lean Bigsby in that situation. Better matchup as far as for running backs. Kansas City doesn't give up a lot of points to running backs, whereas New England does give up points to the running back. So that's where I'm sitting at with that. All right, Dylan, what's up? Full PPR, different leagues, one tight end, Calker, Henry, Parkinson, likely. Oof. One QB, one wide receiver, two flex. Okay, I'm going Baker. I'm not playing Anthony Richardson. Not playing Anthony Richardson. I'm playing Baker. I'm always playing Baker, especially over Anthony Richardson. Baker. One wide receiver. Kirk, Shakir, Palmer. I don't really care for Palmer too much. Is everything good to go with Shakir? Yeah, no injury designation. Not much out of him this year. Does Amari Cooper help him or hurt him? Christian Kirk. Man, I don't like your options, Dylan. Let's see here. I think I'm tied in. I'm going Henry. I think quarterback. I'm definitely going Baker. Wide receiver. Give me Christian Kirk. Ernest T.J. Goodson. One running back, tight end. J.K. I'm going J.K. And then I think I'll go Henry for my tight end. You hate my I hate an injured player going into a Monday night game because you have to make decisions based on you got to assume he's going to be hurt, especially if he's questionable, because if not, you're screwed. And that's what happened this last week. A lot of the signs were pointing towards James Cook was playing, and then all of a sudden we get the alert that he's not playing, and we're like, hell. And then, is it Johnson? Is it Ray Davis? Well, Johnson's had the firm grip on the number 2 spot there, but then all of a sudden now it's Ray Davis. It was a horrible situation last Monday night. Burned me. I'm going with the guy who's healthy playing on Sunday versus the guy who's questionable on Sunday. And I don't like foreign games either, T. I don't really care for them that much. Yeah. Yeah, ain't no problem, man. Schultz or Kincaid? I want to go Kincaid. Schultz hasn't just been. I don't know. I just haven't liked Schultz. Let's see here. He just hasn't done much, and you were kind of hoping like he was going to step up this last week with Nico out, and he got 8 targets but 4 catches. Favorable matchup with Green Bay. They give him a decent amount of points, but I just like Kincaid better. I'm going Kincaid there, T. I like Dalton Kincaid now. He's not dealing with an injury though, is he? I feel like I saw something about him dealing with an injury. Nope, he's fully healthy. Yeah. I like Kincaid. I mean, you're not getting much out of either one of the guys in production value this year. So, 12 team half PPR start two. Goodson, Bigsby, Ray Davis, Vidal, ETN, White, Tucker. Um, Bigsby. Oh gosh. We're going Bigsby for sure out of those options. I'm not going with ETN. He doesn't look like he's going to play. Um, I think Trey Sermon's supposed to be back, right? Isn't Trey Sermon? Trey Sermon's supposed to be back, so I guess I don't really care for Goodson. Ray Davis, James Cook is going to be back, so I don't really care for him that much. Vidal, no. I mean, I like JK. I want to go with JK there. Vidal just got lucky. He had 2 catches for 40 yards, but he had the TD. I don't know. Tucker is White. Do we verify if White is playing? He's still questionable, so I don't really care for that. I mean, I guess Tucker. I'm assuming that's Trey Tucker. He's kind of the go-to there, but I mean, he only had 2 targets last week. Tough game against Pittsburgh. Better matchup this week. I guess I want to go Bigsby, and I guess I want to go Tucker. I'm not excited about it. If White's playing, I'll go with White for sure. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one, D. Do I start Diggs or Ayuk in my flex over Montgomery or Pollard? I play Montgomery for sure. I'm not benching Montgomery. So do you start Diggs or Ayuk instead of Pollard? Is that the question? Soccer. What are we deciding here? Are we starting 2 of these 4? Let me know. Or if it's one of the 4, Sean Tucker D. Okay. Sean Tucker. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I gotta look up. I guess I don't want to play Sean Tucker. No, I mean, he did better, did good last week. You guys see what's happening with White. I think if White's playing, you play White. If not, go Tucker. That's where I'm going to go with that one. D. So whichever one's, if White's playing, you play White. If not, go with Sean Tucker. There we go. Yeah, Soccer. Let me know how many we starting in that group of 4. Montgomery, I'm definitely starting Montgomery. I don't like Ayuk. He's been burning me all season long, minus 1 game. I do like Diggs. I might you could talk me into starting Diggs over Pollard for sure. Thank you, D. I appreciate it, man. Boss, in a 12 spot standard, Purdy, Bijan, Bigsby, Aaron Jones, DK, Debo, and Cup. But Cup, who to flex? Because all the other. So you're flexing. What's the okay, Joe? I'm not sure what the question is there, man. You're flexing one of these guys. We're not getting Cup back. I didn't see Cup's coming back, right? Yeah, Cup's questionable. Very vague. So how many are we start? What are we starting a QB? I mean, if it's a super flex and we're starting a QB, I'm going to go with Purdy. If not, I want to go Bijan. Is kind of where I want to lean. It's a standard, so it's not a PPR. So that's kind of what I like there. Since you like Juju, now you got me thinking pick 2 PPR. Juju, Mason, BTJ, or I'm not going with Lad. because we're dealing with the injury on a Monday night. PPR, I mean, I kind of want to lean towards Juju. He's kind of becoming the number one guy. I mean, you got him and Xavier Worthy. Leaning towards, yeah, I want to go Juju. That's where I want to go. Trade Henry for Jefferson and Pollard. So you're going to give up Henry and get Justin Jefferson and Tony Pollard? Yeah, I would. UNLV, we don't know if Rashid's playing. So I want to lean towards Jordan. I want to go Jordan Mason in that situation. Rashid White or Jordan Mason. I want to go ahead and go Jordan Mason in that. Rashid White's dealing with an injury. How much playing time is he going to get if he does come back? Jordan Mason, yeah, he was been dealing with injury, but he's not on the injury report. He's good to go. I want to go there. Ayuk and Diggs are on my bench. Wondering if I start one of them in my flex rather than Pollard. Okay. All right, soccer. So let me just double check something here. Is it PPR? Is it PPR? Cup was ruled out like 15 minutes ago, I think. Okay, yeah. Sean, what I'm reading is Sean McVay's been very vague about him playing. So I don't want to go with Cup yet. I want to make sure he's back. Now, when Cup's back in the lineup, you play Cup. You play him. You play him, you play him, you play him, you play him, you play him. Because he's Matt Stafford's BFF and he's going to throw the ball to him 40 times a game. That's all there is to it. Are you looking at a PPR situation there, soccer? I do want to know that. I do like Stephon Diggs, especially with Nico Collins being out. He had 7 targets last week, 6 catches for 77 yards and a TD. Green Bay's defense is kind of similar to New England's as far as giving up points to wide receivers. So I like the matchup there, especially if it's like a PPR situation, soccer. I think I want to go ahead and go Diggs, possibly over Pollard. Yeah, let's just double check Tony Pollard again real quick. Buffalo give up a lot of points to running backs. They're hey, it is PPR. All right. To me, it's Diggs or Pollard. That's what it boils down to for me. I'm not factoring Ayuk. Now, with that being said, Ayuk could definitely blow up, right? But he just hasn't been right this year. He's burned me for sure. Tony Pollard, Stephon Diggs, PPR. I like the matchup for Tony Pollard. Buffalo gives up a lot of points to running backs. Again, Stephon Diggs has got Green Bay's kind of middle of the road to wide receivers. 6 for 77 in a TD last week. I think you kind of want to expect kind of the same. I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. I'm going to go Tony Pollard on that one. That's where I'm going, soccer. Tank Dell or Chuba? I want Chuba. Jordan, give me Chuba. He's been great since Andy Dalton has been in the lineup. So that's where I want to go with that. Mike Evans or Debo, half point PPR. Last week all I said was you never bench Mike Evans, and I kind of want to stick with that. He's definitely going to get it. It's hard. Evans only has bad weeks against Marshawn Lattimore, and he's not playing Marshawn Lattimore. It's going against Baltimore, who gives up the most points to wide receivers. Give me Mike Evans. I want Mike Evans. I love Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans. I love Baker this year. I like Mike Evans every year. Dude is just a touchdown machine. Now, yeah, you're saying, yeah, I do. I do really like Debo for sure too, right? But against Kansas City, it could be tough. Debo's been kind of hit or miss this year, guys. Um, I'm, but he's off the injury report. Astro. If you look at Mike Evans, he's not on the injury report. So yes, he's coming back from a hammy, but he doesn't have any injury designation. Yeah. Evans in a smash spot versus Baltimore though are at I this is an Evans 2 TD game. It very well could be. I like Evans. Again, I do like Evans. He's not going to be he's not going to be a decoy. He is going to be he's Mike Evans. Again, not on the injury report. He's not on the injury report, which means he's been practicing. Give me Mike Evans over Debo for sure. Advance. Adams or Debo? I think I want to go Devontae. Is it PPR UNLV? Especially if it's PPR, I think Devontae gets fed the ball. All of a sudden, he no longer has a hamstring injury, which we all knew was going to happen as soon as he got traded. Yeah, it's his first game in a new offense, but it's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, PPR. Yeah, I want to go Devontae. I think he's just going to feed the ball to Devontae for sure. And again, Debo he's been hit or miss this year. But we know what we're getting with Devontae with Aaron Rodgers for sure. We know he's just going to target him. It's his little buddy. He's super excited about having him back. I mean, he was traded, and 20 minutes later after the trade, he's in a room with Aaron Rodgers while he's on the Pat McAfee show, right? I don't think Devontae Adams was really hurt. I think he was just done playing for the Raiders. And he said, I'm hurt. And he told him, he's like, look, guys, I'm not playing again. Trade me. Trade me. I'm not playing anymore. I think that's what happened. So, yeah, I want to go Devontae. Give me Devontae. I like Devontae with Aaron Rodgers, especially in a PPR format. I think he's going to feed him the ball. I think you're looking at a 10 to 12 target, maybe even more, 10 plus targets for Devontae tomorrow is what you're doing, is what we're getting, I think. So that's where I want to go with that. We got anything else, guys? We're coming up on the hour. I typically cap these at about an hour. I still got to go eat dinner. I came home as soon as I got back from the ball fields. I came in here. I hit go live. They just got home with the pizza. If we got any more questions, guys, let me know. We'll go ahead and get those answered. If some things come up, hey, I always, after the lives, I always post a quick short. So if there's anything that I didn't get to, or you got a question that comes up, leave a comment on the short after the live, and I'll respond to all those questions as quickly as I can. But we do respond to all of our questions on our shorts for sure. We try and do everything we can to respond to you guys, get back to you guys, give you guys the sounding board, give you our advice, let you know what we're thinking. And let's just try and win, right? Hey, thanks, UNLV, man. Yeah, you have a great night. Thank you guys so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who's been in, the old people, the new subs, all of that. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.